I'd like to show you some new capabilities we have in Federated Wiki for working together. I showed you already the way that we collect sitemaps for the various sites in the Federation as we visit them. But we have a new way to kind of monitor what's going on in a project. This is a project that my friend and colleague Michael Mahaffey and I are doing. We spent a day out at a coastal retreat space called West Wing and studied the area for patterns. Uh, we call this a project with federated contributors, and if I were to search for patterns, I can see that they're showing up on several different sites. Now, how that works is, let me just show you this. Here I said that the authors of the site is the contributors, Michael Mahaffey and myself, and these are just links to sites on his page and my own. And the new thing that is so sweet here is that in addition to having these references and these paragraphs, we have an object here called, this is a plugin called Activity, and it just basically tells you what's going on in the Federation. To interpret this, what we realize is that these are page names, and there are actual links, but associated with each one is a mention of which sites it appears on. And some of these sites are only on mine, and some of these sites are only on Michael's, and some of them show up both places or even more. And when we roll over them, it'll tell us which site that is. That's Ward, and it was updated 4 hours ago. This is in the parent site, the yellow site, and that was from 11 days ago. Here more 4 days, all within the week. Also, when you see that Michael and I have been working on the same pattern, we can see that whoever's worked on it most recently determines its position. So here, I worked on this 6 days ago. He worked on this 11 days ago. So, in a sense, I'm bringing his reference up with mine. And we're not too far along on here. If we go out to a year, it turns out we picked up a little bit of help along the way just by having this reference to the help, and that's over a year old. So this is a picture of a small project. Let me show you kind of how I'm using that on my own site. This is where I do all my experimenting over on localhost. And I have this page called Happenings, and I did the same thing. I just added one of these activity plugins, and it tells me what I've been doing here. In an hour, I've been preparing for this video and a few things, but in the last day, within a week, and so forth. But in the same way, as I mentioned in search, it's handy to assemble up little pages that just mention who you work with. Let me show you how calling those pages up will cause the wiki to start loading sitemaps and how those sitemaps influence this document. These are people that I tend to correspond with. I want to follow what they're doing, so I click on this and I get a list of people. And as it loads those sitemaps, I can see that this information is updating. And of course, as more sitemaps come in, you know, the history of what's going on in this corner of the Federation enlarges. And of course, lots of people have a welcome visitors page, so there's a lot there. But again, of course, 19 minutes ago, 3 days ago, 5 days ago, 7 days ago, 11 days ago, on and on. You know, so we get a little history horizontally for a particular page, and then how the pages themselves are organized, and we can kind of get this map of what's being done when. The thing that makes this neat is that this is just people that I'm working with. Now I can focus on my own work. I spread my own work around, so I'm just going to go back to the beginning here, forget all that stuff. Now I got this nice clean list. I'm going to say, well, let's focus on my work. And here I list a number of different sites that I work on because I spread my work around in different wikis depending upon what the purpose is of my efforts. And now I can see how my work is spread out. These are all my sites, and I recognize them, and I recognize the name. And of course, my name shows up plenty often on my sites and so forth. But you can also see how my work is gone in spurts, over the months. And this is a pretty effective way to cooperate.